Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I see you're here with us. Florence, thank you so much for coming through already today. And it's one of those mornings. Yesterday was a rather cold day. We had some very extreme weather. Let me say it that way. We had some extreme weather here in the Huntsville area. And in fact, I'm looking out. See, yesterday I was looking out to see if it had snowed, and let me tell you, it has snowed. It has definitely snowed. It's Huntsville snow, right? So I want to keep that in perspective. And then the temperature is, I think they're saying it's 13 and cloudy. 13 degrees and cloudy. So it's been it's definitely a little bit cooler of a morning than we normally have in the North Alabama / Tennessee River Valley. That's where we are. Corridor. So yeah, interesting stuff. Snowplows are literally outside my door this morning. Look at that. Hey, Enenea, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I'm just realizing, like, I got nothing. I don't know what happened there. Let's put that back up. There we go. M3 Live Tribe. I actually like seeing snowplows do their thing. I'm mindful that if I stay right here, I might get into a whole different morning motivation. But I actually love seeing snowplows do their thing, cleaning out a parking lot, clearing out streets. I love seeing that kind of thing. I don't know what it is. Enenea, what's up? Good morning to you. Love seeing folks come through. What? 2 days in a row, Rosalind? You're in trouble. If you keep coming here, you're going to be in trouble. I'm telling you. Rosalind Montemarcel says, good morning, Kirk. Snowy in Maryland today, 4 to 6 inches dropping by before I start my workday. I'm so glad that you were able to do that. Yes, I'm so glad you were able to do that. Says, yeah, thanks for the warm welcome yesterday. Of course. Howdy, folks. Far from snowing down under. It's a different season down there. So we get it. And we are excited. You know, this is what I mean. This is the international nature of streaming, right? Your boy Wanderer is in Australia, where it's a whole different season of I think they probably, December, January is summer. When I lived in South Africa, that was summertime. That's actually the time when most people got married. It was the warmest time of the year. It was gorgeous. I mean, we went on boat. I mean, we had some really cool Christmases in South Africa because of the time of year it is now. June, July, August. Oh, you hang it up. It gets cold, fam. And some people think that because it was Africa, it doesn't get that cold. I can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it gets ridiculously cold. It gets cold. All right. The music is about to stop. I got 25 seconds. But I just want to say a word of thanks to all 8 of you for coming through and hanging out with us. I hope, Rosalind, you don't have to go immediately. I'd love for you to be able to catch today's morning motivation. And with that said, we got a cool quote on tap for today. I will chat with you on the other side of the break. Let's get into our morning motivation. Today's quote is from a public speaking icon. His name is Les Brown, somebody that I've followed for years, somebody that has kind of broken the mold, almost made an industry for himself. Les Brown says to all of us, to everyone who is listening, life has no limitations except the ones you make. That's it. That's the entire quote. So let me say it again. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. It causes me to pause. It's one of those type of mornings. And the reason why I causes me to pause is because I immediately want to run around the room and say, take the limits off. Take the limits off your mind. Take the limits off. Stop believing for less. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of thing I want to run to. But I am quickly reminded that limits aren't always a bad thing. Limits aren't always a bad thing. And so I want to challenge you, even as I share some of my own, what are some things that you don't do? What are some things that you don't do? I'll give you some of mine. And these are not rules. These are not prescriptive. I'm not saying that everyone should do this. I'm simply saying I don't do these things. Okay? So I don't smoke. That's a Kirk thing. I did smoke way back in the day, but I don't smoke. I don't curse. I try my best not to. I've found that there are always better ways to communicate my frustration than to use profanity. So that's a Kirk thing. I don't curse. I don't do piercings. I believe that God put me in this world with a certain amount of holes, and I'm going to go out the same way. That's just a Kirk thing. Do I like earrings? I think they look great. My sister has earrings. I don't have anything against them. I'm simply telling you, these are limits that I have put on me. And they're not bad things. I'll give you another one. I don't overbook my calendar. It's a time management hack. I leave space before and after every meeting. My calendar app and my virtual assistant, they both know this about me. And so they help me manage my day in a way that leaves me some breathing room between appointments. I don't overbook. I also do not overspend. Are you starting to see a trend here? I try to live within my budget. I try to live inside my means. We don't have car payments. Both of the cars we have are older. One is a 2010, one is a 2006, and we have replaced the engine in both of them, and we have no car payments. And so we live way inside our means. I try my best not to overpromise. Oh yeah, my yes is a yes. My no is a no. That is a limit I've placed on me. I try not to lie. I try not to steal. Are you starting to see a trend here? I try not to compare. I don't kill. These are things that I have. These are ways that I currently live my life. And if you look at the quote for today from Les Brown, you may be tempted to wipe all of those things aside. But I want to make sure that we touch on them right here at the beginning. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. He's absolutely correct. And I have decided to limit myself in these ways, and these limits are healthy for me. Now, let me quickly go to another piece, and it's not the good part just yet. Limits usually come when we exemplify that we will overindulge if left alone. I'm going to say it again. Limits usually come when we have a proven track record, when we exemplify that we will overindulge if left to our own devices, if we just leave it open. You ever gone to a store and they say we're limiting one per person? Huh? Have you ever been to the store on Black Friday? They need limits. All right. Let me make it a little more practical. My children and I have bedtimes. Those are limits, because if left to our own devices, we would stay up all night. My son just got an Xbox, and we have limited the amount of time he can play the Xbox. We have limits on the amount of time that we all can watch TV. Okay, let me come a little closer. There is a speed limit on every road that you drive on. Because if left to our own devices, we would drive as fast as we physically can. All right, as fast as our cars will allow us to drive, because we have exemplified. We have a proven track record. Let me not say we. Let me say I, because I have a problem where the speed is concerned. But I have a proven track record based on the points on my license that I will speed. And so there's a speed limit. You have a limit on your credit card. You have a credit limit, and your credit limit is based on your financial responsibility, your money history. It's a limit. Do you understand and recognize that the diet that you started at the beginning of the year for that New Year's resolution to lose some of the poundage, the diet is nothing but limits? In fact, rules are limits. Rules are in classrooms. Rules are at work. Rules are what the legal system is made up of. Because humans have exemplified that if we don't put limits on them, they will overindulge. They will go to the nth degree. So I'm going to ask you a question that you probably didn't think I was going to ask when you heard this quote. Life has no limitations except the ones we make. What limits do you need to apply to yourself to keep things in check? This is a wildly personal question. Only you can answer it. It's not a group assignment. Look at the trajectory of your life and the things that you have proven to yourself over and over again that I will overindulge. Do you think you need some limits there? Life has no limits, and sometimes that's not a good thing. And so the quote is not complete without Les Brown saying, except the ones we make. Like, real talk, even the 10 Commandments was God saying, fam, this is a better way. But you have to choose that for yourself. What limits, I'm getting to the part that everybody wants. This is the easy shout. What limits have you placed on yourself? Are you limiting yourself in areas you were meant to be limitless? Do you have a limit problem? I was working at T. Rowe Price. It's a market data. It's an investment firm. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I was working there as a level 2 technician. I got a chance to move to this job from working at NASA, which was my first job out of college. This was my second. And so I was working there there's a gentleman who I had brought over with me, right? So I got the job at thru, and there's another guy that I used to work with at NASA. And when another position opened up, I brought this guy over with me. His name is Michael Carita. He's from Kenya. He's a good friend of mine. It's somebody I stay in touch with to this day, and somebody I hope actually does listen to this morning motivation. So we get to thru, and we're working together. We had divided the building up. It was 12 stories, 12 floors, and we had divided the building up in terms of floors. And so each technical team, IT team, managed certain floors. And because we were friends, they decided, okay, we're not going to put you guys on the same team. And so I managed certain floors. And on those floors was HR, there was a legal department. There was several, very critical departments within the company. And then on the other floors, there was, other departments, but the departments that Michael supported was the equity department and the fixed income department. These were our trading departments. And so there's another team like a step or two above what we did. It was called the market data analyst team, market data analyst team. And they had a position open. And we, all the technical people in the area, they usually would pull from us to fill those positions. It was just kind of natural next step. And we all knew that they were going to hire Michael, the guy I brought over. And the reason why they were going to hire him is because he already was supporting the floors where most of the people that used their stuff was on. Most of the people that used their stuff, they were on the floor. They were on the floors that he supported. So they wanted to bring him in. And so we went through the hiring process, and I decided I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, not because I wanted the job, not because I thought I could get it. In fact, I knew that they were going to hire him. I put my hat in the ring because I wanted my boss to sit up and take notice. Have you ever done that? This is a life hack I'm sharing with you right now. I knew that if I applied for the job, my current boss would have to be notified. And I thought he took me for granted. And so I applied for the job knowing that I wouldn't get it, so that my current boss would be notified. And when he's notified, he would start to take stock at what he was losing if I was going to get the job. That was my strategy. And I remember when I was getting ready for the interview the morning, I was talking to my girlfriend at the time. We weren't married yet, and this is my current wife, and she says to me, "Man, so what if you get the job?" And I was like, I had not told her the inner workings of what was happening at the job. I was like, no, I already know who they're going to hire. I'm just applying for this. She's like, "Yeah, but what if you do get it?" I was like, no. They're already going to. You don't understand how this thing works. It's okay. They've got somebody in mind. She's like, "Yeah, but make sure you put your best foot forward. Make sure you treat it like you can get it. Make sure you enter the job interview as if you are the best candidate. Make sure you present yourself well, because you could get it." I just said, all right, babe, love you. I'm going to head to work. She didn't understand. But her words rang in the back of my head. And so I did just that. I went to the interview. This is another conversation for another time. I believe in interviewing. I don't believe in just sitting at a job and only looking for a job when you quote unquote need one. I believe in looking on a regular basis and going and applying and going through the process of being interviewed, because life is about being able to market who you are and what you best bring to the table. And the interview process is the only time we get to flex that muscle. If you never flex that muscle, you never actually get a chance to see why am I a better candidate than anyone else? I would go on interviews all the time. And I did exactly that. I applied all of those principles to this interview. I went to the interview and the interview process completed. And do you know what they did? You're probably thinking that they hired me. No, they didn't. They hired Michael. They hired the guy that I thought they were going to hire the entire time. They hired the guy I thought they were going to hire. Of course they did. Because we all knew that's who they were going to hire. And what I had done for my own strategy, it worked. My boss pulled me aside and he was like, "I know you didn't get the job, but I want to let you know that I appreciate, your leadership, all the things that you do in our team. And I want to make sure that we're going to do some things for you." It worked. Michael gave his 2 weeks notice to the current job, and he had accepted the market data analyst position. And a day or so after he had accepted the job, a day or so after I had a conversation with my boss, letting me know that my strategy worked, a day or so later, the market data analyst group called me to offer me the job. I was like, what? I thought Michael just accepted his, and they said, no, he did accept it. But HR told us that since he's only been here for 9 months, he hasn't actually been at T. Rowe Price long enough to move to another position. So they offered me the job, and I accepted the job. And that put me in a position to work with traders, to work with portfolio managers, to work with analysts. That position opened up my entire world. I didn't believe I was going to get it. But I thank God for a wife who believed in my full potential. What beliefs do you hold that are keeping you from realizing your full potential? Why, what do you routinely say? Well, I can't get the sponsorship for my podcast. I can't get monetized on YouTube. You need 1,000 for that. I can't get that big name guest to come and be interviewed on my show. I can't ... What beliefs do you hold that are keeping you from realizing your full potential? Young lady hit me up. She was like, this cafe thing that you've started on Friday nights, I just want to know, who did you talk to in order to gain permission to do it? And I just looked at her in incredulity. My brain malfunctioned. What do you mean? I didn't need permission. And I realized that she was living under a limiting belief. And that limiting belief was choking the life out of her full potential. That limiting belief was keeping her arrested in her current position. That limiting belief would not allow her to believe for greater, to believe for more. We need limits in the areas of our lives where we have a true proven track record where we will overindulge, but we must not limit our beliefs for what we can achieve, for what we were placed here to do, for fulfilling our calling and our purpose. It's bigger than you could have ever imagined. So take the limits off. Take the limits off. Take the limits off of your business. Take the limits off of your work. You can be the best worker. You can take the limits off of your entrepreneurship. You can get into the grind. You can put out a superior product. Take the limits off of your parenting. You can take the limits off of being a spouse. Take the limits off of being engaged and present right where you are today. Take the limits off of how you show up at your job and how you produce your content, how you produce your work product, how you deliver what you've been called to deliver to the world. Take the limits off of it. And see what's possible. Today's quote from Les Brown. It's very two-sided. Life has no limitations. That's not always a good thing. And so in the areas where you need limitations, apply them and live under them. One of the things I say to people who come to me and Kanik asking, am I ready to go in business? I ask them one question: can you deny yourself? Do you know how to live under a budget? How much money do you have in savings right now? And when they answer those three questions, they already know what I'm going to tell them. Life has no limitations, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Except the ones we make. And so be selective in the limits that you place on yourself. But under no circumstances should you limit your vision, your dream, your beliefs. What will you do when the limits are off? And that, my friends, is your morning motivation. My. All right, it got a little spicy today. It got a little spicy today. Let me see where we at. Yo, my goodness, Ibrahim is here. All right, here we go. So now I'm asking myself what limitations I'm making and have made. Come on, this is a good space to be in. If you're not asking that question, you definitely want to be asking that question. Here we go. That's a good limit. Not smoking. That's a good, you see, even for those who smoke, you might want to limit how much you smoke. There are good limits. There are good limits. Good morning to you as well, Ibrahim Lucas. Thank you so much for coming through all the way down in Curacao. Thank you so much, brother, for coming and hanging out with us. I'm actually going to be traveling to a little island, a gorgeous island called Turks and Caicos in the next couple of days. So I'm excited about that. Ooh. Talking to me, not overbooking my calendar. For the most part anyway. Let me tell you, those are limits that I place on myself. I wanted to share, I wanted it to be practical. I wanted you to see yourself in the motivation this morning. Say so. Y'all getting into a whole little groove. Oh, Rosalind says, whew, not to overpromise. This is a much needed word for me today. All of it. Okay. All right. Bath and Body Works sales. they limit. There are limits on how much you can purchase. Come on now. Come on. Listen, even on Amazon, there was a thing I wanted to buy Black Friday and they had a limit, one per customer, one per checkout. And then, so in order to buy 3 of them, I had to check out 3 times. You see, they put the limit in place, but I found a way around the limit. I had to check out 3 times with 3 different Amazon accounts. I figured it out. But they be putting limits on folk. The other side of limits. I received this. Okay, my brother regularly reminds me that I've created a bubble where I live because the limits I place on myself. Ooh. Sometimes we got to be honest with ourselves. Stretford Sue is here with us from across the pond. What's going on? Good afternoon to you. She does good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are well. Late today, so we'll rewind the live to the start. Okay, cool. Good morning to you. Enea says, I like that strategy. Make current supervisor aware you are out there hunting. Fam, let me tell you, that has served me well in my career. It has served me very well. Listen, if you're a leader, you need to know your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 candidates. Tier 4 candidates, you don't care if they leave tomorrow. In fact, you're kind of praying that they leave. Just like, man. So if you get the notification that the tier 4 candidate is searching for a job, you almost want to call the folk and be like, man, you can have them. But that tier 1 candidate, Let me tell you what I used to do with my tier 1 candidates. I would tell them, fam, I know that you're underpaid here. I know that your abilities, your dedication far exceed what we are able to do for you. And so here's what I want to do. I want to make sure you get the training you need. I want to make sure you go to the conferences that you need to go to increase your stature within this particular discipline, within this particular industry. That's what I want to do for you. The third thing I want to do for you is I want to plan your transition out. Can you give me 3 years? That's what I would do for all my tier 1 candidates. I made sure that these guys knew that we could have a conversation around whether or not they're leaving. And do you know what would happen for those tier 1 candidates? I was able to hold them for 4 or 5 years. I was able to hold them for years longer than I would otherwise, just hoping and tiptoeing around the fact that they might leave. I would touch that joint. That's a whole hack for yourself, for some leader out there today. Go through your entire workforce. I had at one point 60 people. I would go through the entire team and I would put them in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I tried to prune the tier 4s. I tried to train the tier 4s into tier 3 and to tier 2. I tried. Some of them, they wouldn't. But them tier 1s, you need to know, I was not about to let them go without a fight. Yeah, you see, let me tell you something about this. This is one of the things I said this to my some of my mentees. They said to me, they said, Mr. Nugent, what is the one decision in life that you know for a fact that you got right? I was like, let me tell you something. I can't speak to any other decision in my entire life except for the fact that I married the right woman. And that one right decision has opened doors and kept me from trouble and allowed me into spaces, have shifted my perspective and opened my mindset in ways that would never have happened were I to have married the wrong woman. I told them it ain't about the it ain't about the looks, fam. You need to find you the right woman. These young men, I was telling them, look, listen, that thing will change your entire life. All right, I'm on my soapbox today. That was God moving nepotism out of the way for favor. It was nothing but God. But my whole point in that story was I had believed that the job was not for me. And if it weren't for that conversation with my wife, I would probably have gone into the interview very nonchalant, very much on I don't really need this. I just trying to check a box. But I didn't. Oh man, I didn't even read that. Nenea says, wow, I love that your wife knew who she married and reminded you to stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Come on. Whose permission? You need your own permission. Come on. I sometimes think I am not qualified to do some things on the job, new position. Others are more qualified, but God is able. I need to remember that. Thank you. I am excited for what will happen if you let this get in your spirit, Rosalind. If you let it get, if you let the, let me try and bring it in. If you let the exponential possibilities of a limitless belief system permeate into every aspect of your life, I am here to tell you as a living witness, God will blow your mind. Oh gosh. I just hope that you get that today. I'm not going to tarry on it long. Okay. So glad I stayed on the interview part. I need to resurrect that. Yes. Thanks, Kirk. Always a blessing. I'm so glad for you being here today, Doc. Always glad for you to be here. Lady March says greetings. Yeah. Them tier 4s, I want to get rid of them. Got to get rid of them. I tell my team, I want to help them prepare to be the A team wherever they go next. That's me. I want folk to leave my joint and be like, God, hey, is there anybody else at the place that you worked at before? Because good night. I need more. 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 Oh, man. The SBD is here. SBD, that's my guy, man. This guy, yeah, I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Listen. Life has no limitations. This is what Les Brown was trying to tell us. In one sentence, he said a lot. Life has no limitations except the ones we make. What limitations are you making? Oh, don't miss that one. Don't go to the easy preach. Don't go to the easy shout. What limitations are you making? I hope that they're good limitations. I hope that they're limitations that will cause you to be reined in the areas that you need to be reined in. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. Wanderer. Listen, Wanderer, you got to know, SBD says that every single time he comes to the show, every single time, every show I'm on, every time he comes through, he says, there he is, the best production on YouTube, hands down. That's what he says. He says that every single time. And I tell you what, it's a shot in the arm, man. It's a shot in the arm. There's a, we're about to tie this thing in. There are times where he used to say that thing and I didn't necessarily believe him. There are times he used to put that thing in the comment section and I would be like, man, I'm definitely not the best production on YouTube. But now he's said it so long and so often, as soon as I see a Simply Ball Dropping podcast, I am expecting to read the phrase, there he is, the best production on YouTube, hands down. This thing, I'm telling you, everyone that's on the live today, I'm not going to stay long. I'm actually getting ready to land right around now. Everybody's on live with me today. If you plug in to a limitless belief system, because the word of God says that higher than the highest human thoughts is his ideal, not his greatest, his ideal for us. So if you plug into the idea and the concept that God wants me to live in the extraordinary, not the ordinary, wants me to live in the supernatural and not the natural, that he wants my life to exemplify what is possible when a person is wholly yielded to the influence of the Holy Spirit. Let me leave it. I'm trying my best to be good. These are not supposed to be sermons. These are supposed to be motivation. And, there's a difference. I want you to understand that there is a difference. Show your love by hitting the like button and turn it solid. Come on, we can do it. Let's get this good word out to more folks. I like it. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me early on this very cold North Alabama morning. It's 13 degrees outside and everything is covered. Everything is covered with snow. But, we normally do morning motivation and media. So yesterday we showcased Pod Squeeze, just because somebody was in the chat and they were asking about it. I want you to know that tomorrow morning we are not going to be live. I will one of our morning motivation produced videos will release tomorrow. I'm excited about that. I don't want to even say the title of it, but that is something that will happen. In addition, I did want to showcase that several things have been updated on the How It All Works website here, howitallworks.com. So if you haven't, listen, I always say this to you guys, if you have not bookmarked this page, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. And I just saw Florence's comment. I'm going to put that up on screen real quick. Loved the newsletter that came out yesterday. Love the newsletter that came out yesterday. If you aren't on the newsletter list, I would encourage you to sign up. There is value that you can only find in the newsletter. And that's intentional. That is intentional. I gave you some steps yesterday in the newsletter, like a full 6-step system. And then I gave you a video of live video news, all the things that are happening. We did a recap of CES and some of the tools and equipment that came out there. Then also a really cool YouTube live streaming feature. I'll just leave it there. You're going to want to make sure you're on the mailing list. You're going to want to make sure you're on that mailing list. StreamYard adds 9x16 portrait. How is live video the ultimate cheat code with John Nixon II? Coaching Corner last Wednesday was phenomenal. I think we had such a great time. But our Coaching Corner for tomorrow, we have a guest. We have a guest tomorrow. We'll be doing a live coaching session tomorrow. And I actually just had a couple more people reach out. I was talking to my VA. She says that several other people have signed up for the live coaching session. So we've got people going into March at this point because we do it every other Wednesday. So we're excited about that as well. And then, of course, this is going to change out tonight. You see where it says, what's your definition of success? This is going to change out tonight with our with our latest morning motivation video. And that's going to release at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's not going to have the live component to it, but I still think it'll be absolutely amazing, and it will definitely get you across the line. So wanted to share that with you because, you know, that is definitely something that I want to make sure is ever in front of you, our resources and our website. But I also wanted to be sure that we share something else with you. I've got to do this a different way. Let me do this. Okay. No, I want to show you. There we go. There it is. Perfect. All right. I think I've got that right. Yep. Well, I'm gonna have this up in just a second. Let me get. All right. All right. There's a plugin. There's a plugin for WordPress that allows you. Let me see here. Let's see here. I'm looking for it. Give me a minute here, guys. I'm so sorry. I thought I had this already up, and then when I went to the page, I realized that it is not there. But I am coming up to it here in just a second. All right. This is it. This is it. Okay. It took some time. Took way longer than I anticipated. But I want to show this to you. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm going to get into the back end of my website. All right, we'll put it up there as well. And we will go to pages, and we'll go to the watch page. If you've ever been to the watch page on my website, I want to show you the code for that watch page. I want to show you the code for that, and because I think it will kind of open your mind. Like I said, this is morning motivation and media, and one of the media things that I do is my website. So because some of you are thinking, oh, he's just showing the website because he wants to showcase some of the things that he's got going on. And you're correct. I do want to showcase some of the stuff I have going on. But if you've ever been to the watch page of my website, you'll know that on that page, all of the things that I have, not just the stuff that's on my own channel, but even the stuff that's on other channels. Like this is the Pod Squeeze episode. So if you wanted to actually see that interview with myself, DJ Strick, and the founder of Pod Squeeze, that's the application we talked about yesterday, you could see that right here. This site, however, right? This site is a mirror copy of a playlist that I have on my channel. Let's go to playlists. And that playlist is called New Content from Kirk. I don't even know if I have that playlist public. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I don't. Nope, don't have it public. So let's do it a different way. Content, boom, playlists. There we go. New content from Kirk. And I'm just going to click here and edit on YouTube. Boom. So this is the playlist. Anything, notice that they're exactly the same. Anything I add to this playlist, whether it's from my own channel or it's from somebody else's channel, if I was a guest on a show, I add it to this playlist. Anything that I add to this playlist shows up on this page. I don't have to manually do it. The embed, the tool that I'm using, YouTube Free. Let me go back over here. It's YouTube Free by Embedly. That's the name of the tool, and this is the website for it. YouTube Free by Embedly. YouTube Free by Embedly. In fact, I'm going to put that in the chat in just a second. But this plugin, right? I'm going to go back to my website. This is the page. This is the back end of the watch page on my website. It's the back end of it, and I'm waiting for the thing to load. All right, but the back end of the page has literally one line of code, and with that one line of code, this entire page is set up. Look, there are pages plural here, right? Because that playlist is actually long. It's way longer than what can hold on that first page. So you have page 2 here, and page 2 has some more content that I've added to this playlist. And there's another page here, and that has more content that I've added to this playlist. And if you click play on any of the videos on this page, it plays it in the big box at the top. That's all done by the embed. Don't believe me? Look, I just clicked one, and there it is. It's playing in the top. Now, if I want to go to YouTube, I can just click on the link at the top here. I can click on that link and it'll take me over to YouTube. But any one of these videos, okay, 2 StreamYard hacks, bang. It's right here. It's right here. I get to watch. With this one tool. Okay, this is the back end of that page. This is the back end of that page. This is it. That's one line of code. So you have the top header, you have the logo, and the one line of code, and that is what gives me my watch page. Is that helpful? Is that helpful to you? Because if you have a WordPress site, and I highly recommend that you stand up a show page for your content and for your site, this is a game changer. Look, I can play anything from anyone and just stay right here on this. Look, there he is. Simply Ball Travel Podcast. You didn't know you were in this video, did you? 2 StreamYard hacks. That your comment, I saved it from one of the live streams that we did, and I brought it back up to be in part of my video. And so I'm actually responding to your question in this video. So I wanted to kind of highlight that if you're still here with us. But this is what is possible here, guys. This is what's possible with one line of code from YouTube Free from by Embedly. This one line of code yields this entire website. And so I wanted to, in our morning motivation today, and media, I wanted to be able to share that is that's how we're achieving that. YouTube Free by Embedly. I just put it in the chat. If you're interested, go ahead and grab it. But that's really something that I have. I can't tell you how many people I've put onto this. People come to the site and they're like, "What? How are you doing that?" Because sometimes YouTube makes it. Sometimes it's hard to navigate somebody's YouTube channel. But if I put it on the watch page, that means it's either something that's the latest from me. It doesn't even have to be on my channel. You could curate multiple watch pages As long as you point them to particular playlists on your YouTube channel, you're good to go. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. And I hope that is meaningful for you, because that's my media item for the day. I'm going to try and get back into the habit of making sure that we give you a media item for the day as well. You got the morning motivation. Please, please, please don't miss that part. If you live under limiting beliefs, it's time to shake free. But if you have been living without limits in your life, an area that you already know that you overindulge, then I would recommend that you bring it in. Help yourself by creating certain limits. Les Brown shares this because he recognizes, right? Life has no limitations except the ones we make. He recognizes that there is nothing worth attaining in life that didn't cost us something. And so if I need to study and I've got to limit my interaction and my social gatherings and different things like that in order for me to be able to study, I need to make that limit, even if it's just for a temporary season of my life. I need to institute that limit so that I can attain what I'm moving after. If I believe for greater, sometimes my greater belief will cause me to put on limits. Sometimes my greater belief will cause me to deny myself certain things. Yeah. I look at athletes. Come on, Tammy R. Stevens. I look at athletes, and athletes deny themselves so that they can be in the best shape of their life. Don't get it twisted. If you've ever followed LeBron James's routine, I am not an LBJ fan, not on the court, but I am absolutely an LBJ fan off the court. This guy, he treats his body like an absolute machine. Make sure that it's running in tip-top condition. Doesn't put junk in. And some people may say that those are limits he has placed on himself, but he recognizes he was born for greater. And in order for him to fulfill all that he has been called to do, he's limiting the foolishness. Everybody's talking about, oh my gosh, I just blanked on the guy's name. The actor who was in all the Marvel movies and just ended up in this whole scenario with this abuse case. And whether I don't care what side of the issue you fall on. I don't care what side of the issue you fall on. Let me be clear, man. He wasn't limiting himself. And because he wasn't limiting himself in those personal areas and spaces of his life, it has now trickled over into what he was called to do. And now he has real limitations on the business side of his life. Let me say this one quote for today. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. You will, if you let it, you will recognize that even in not setting up the infrastructure for your business, for your content, for your live show, you're limiting yourself. The belief that it requires for you to say, I need the site, I need the email list, I need the infrastructure, I need the membership group, I need to start having a support page, I need to build out the systems so that I can support and serve at scale. It is a belief that this thing will work. It is a belief that I have value to provide. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. And sometimes we make those limits unconsciously with the decisions that we make, with the decisions that we don't make, with the things that we deny ourselves, or with the things that we don't deny ourselves. That's it for today. Jonathan Majors, thank you, Enenea. Come on. See, this is what happens. My mind just went blank, completely blank. Jonathan Majors, he wasn't limiting himself. I don't care what side of the issue you fall on. I'm not here to legislate. I'm not here to to cast aspersions. Listen, I'm a black man. So there's some things that I think I look at that whole scenario and I'm like, okay, son, come here. Let me, you see this right here? Come on. You see this? Huh? You need to be mindful, but I'm not going to get into none of that. What we can all agree on, in his private life, he was not limiting himself. He was not limiting himself. And because he was not limiting himself, and he's still not limiting himself. Yeah. He's still not limiting himself. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what I must have missed a comment or two. Let me get back up here. Oh my goodness, David Harvey is here, man. I haven't seen you jump on a live in a little bit, bro. Always good to have you come through. Tammy R. Stevens says can't wait for the replay. I'm excited for the replay. I always go back through and because I watch it to put the chapters in, because I like to do that immediately after we go offline, which we're about to do in just a second here. Checking in for the motivation, my dude. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, here's what I'm probably missed. SBD says, question, I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the sounds on the sound pads are not coming through my streams. They are distorted and you can't hear them, but are clear when I press the buttons. You are using StreamYard, I'm assuming. I believe you're using StreamYard. And if you are using StreamYard, you want to make sure you have echo cancellation turned off, background noise reduction turned off, and you want to make sure you're wearing headphones, because otherwise your sound effects will not come through. They will be garbled. They will, because StreamYard believes it to be background noise, and so it's it's limiting some. It's limiting them. Oh gosh, look how that thing just tied right back in. It's limiting. It's a limiter. So take the echo cancellation. Oh gosh, take the limits off. Take the limits off your sound effects. Oh, gosh, let me. Everything is just working together today. Let me get out of here before I'm on here for 5 hours. Good morning. Do you send me the link for tomorrow? Oh yeah, that's in the appointment. That's in the appointment. Outdoors in Maryland. So let's get that taken care of right now. When you created the appointment, the link should have been sent. Okay, I see it in the appointment. So you let me know before you go if you don't see it in the appointment. It's in the location of the appointment that's on your calendar for tomorrow at 12:15. So let me know if you don't see that. If you don't, I will email it to you because I have your email in this appointment. So when you signed up for the coaching session, it should have created an appointment on your calendar and my calendar. So what I'm seeing in my calendar is what you set up. So, but if you don't have it, let me know. I'm going to give you a few minutes to just go and check, and we'll see. Let me see here. Okay. Good morning, dude. Jonathan Majors, thank you so much for that. Start a new podcast. Same happened to me. Oh, okay. Same happened to me. Start new show. Okay. Says yes. You're using. Oh, he says, man, you're the best. Oh yeah. I'm hoping it worked. I'm hoping it worked. I'm hoping it worked. All right. Tomorrow it will be, so the live starts at noon Central Time. That's the time for tomorrow's live show with Outdoors in Maryland. Okay, got it. Okay, he says I'll check the email when I get home. I'll just tell my VA to resend the appointment just to resend you the link in email. That way you have it. I'll just make sure that way we have it. Even if you have the appointment, at least you have it, because I want to make sure we that you have what you need. But yeah, I get it, man. I know sometimes it's difficult to check some things when you're working. So no worries on that. No worries on that. Okay, what state is that for the Aussies? We don't know what Central Time means. Oh, my bad. So I don't know if, so that's Alabama and Texas. We're all Central. So if you, Eastern Time, we are 1 hour behind Eastern Time. So noon for me is 1 p.m. for Eastern Time, like East Coast folks, like Maryland and New York. So if that helps a little bit, yeah. So he says 1 p.m. for me. See you tomorrow outdoors. Thank you so much. Yes, it is 1 p.m. for him. It's noon for me, 1 p.m. for him. Definitely looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. Okay, cool. So, yeah, because I was literally just getting ready to pull it up to see what time it is. What time will that be in Maryland? I mean, in Australia. But I would love for you to be able to check it out. And if you can't, I get it, because it might be late at night. But definitely try and catch the replay. And that's where this, this site comes in so clutch, because as I mentioned, it's literally on the page. It's the last week's coaching corner is right there on that main page. And you can actually click this link here to say watch on YouTube, and it'll show you all of the coaching corners along with some other coaching content that I have as a playlist. So you click that link on that main page, you kind of get everything. So we like I said, we've been trying to make sure that this is a one-stop shop, man. You get everything right here. If you come to Why I Go Live and you click that watch on YouTube button, you get everything. You get the whole podcast, all the episodes right there. Same thing for Morning Motivation, even though there's only 2 right now. But if you click that watch on YouTube, you get all of them. You get all of them. So, these are the produced ones. We don't have the live ones available. It says 4 a.m. here now. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's going to be 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. for you already. Wow. Okay. So 4 a.m. and it's 7 a.m. for me. So noon will be 5 hours from now. So 5 hours for you will be, okay. 4 a.m. Oh, 4 a.m. Noon is 4 a.m. Now, noon for me is 4 a.m. for you. I thought yeah. Okay. That's crazy. You'll be in the future. That's right. That's okay. I get it now. Yes. We're on the same page. But if you, like I said, 4 a.m. is ridiculous. If you can't make it, come on through and check out the replay, because the replay is available and we want to make sure you get a chance to engage with that. Fam, this has been good. I want to thank you for your time and attention. I want to thank you for coming through and hanging out with us today. It's truly been an honor. Yes, in the future for sure. 13 of you guys on the live today. Some of you came in a little late. I hope that you get a chance to scrub backwards and check some things out. Bookmark that page, y'all. howitallworks.com. A lot of things coming on that joint. It's going to be a flurry of content. If you're not on the mailing list, trust me, you're missing out, because there's additional value that we're just providing to our mailing list. And there's a join button on YouTube right now. We're going to be making some significant push to increase our YouTube membership. This is, if you don't know, this is one of maybe 3 or 4 jobs that I have. And this one doesn't necessarily, it's not, I still look at it as a marketing component of what I do, but I really love to be a full-time YouTuber, like doing nothing else. I just would like to do this. And so in order to do that, we got to be able to have a support system in place that will enable us to be able to set that up. And so membership, our courses, all those kinds of things, the support page on my website, those are the ways that we are able to kind of set up the infrastructure for us to be able to do this on a regular and consistent basis. Excited for this space that we're in. Oh my, She says 13 on the live and 1 like. Can we move that limit? Can we move that limit? Can we move that limit? Let's take that limit off. Let's get that limit off of us. Oh man, so cool. All right, but yeah, no, I would definitely love to be able to do that full time. And if you listen, if you feel so moved, since we be the preacher appeal, but now consider membership on the YouTube channel. Consider joining the DIY creators community. Consider a course. Any of the ways that you can engage with us. We promise to provide value for your investment. We promise that. So it's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next video. I love this time of the morning. It is one of my favorite things to do. I wake up excited. We're not going to be here tomorrow morning, but there will be a video that you can watch. And for my replay squad, go ahead and check out one of these things on the side here. Playlists, content for you.